So you're starting a new business of all industries in pharmaceuticals. Now, there probably isn't a more competitive industry in the world than that. You must have thought, how are we going to make a go of this against the big players?
Yeah, look, I think we were always reasonably confident, but certainly a lot of people said to us, you guys are crazy, you're silly, the big guys will squash you. So we always felt this sort of sense of urgency. We had to get a move on, we had to get things done, because certainly people tried hard. The first products we launched, they dropped their prices by 2/3. So people certainly tried, very hard to stop us, for sure.
Yeah, and the fact that they tried so hard but you survived and then thrived obviously said a lot about the fact that you knew the markets, you knew what products people needed.
Yeah, no, look, that's true. Also, I think too that you learn from things you've done in the past, like sport and stuff, that you have to make things work. Like if you're out sailing and a big front comes through and it blows 50 knots, you've got to get home. And it kind of teaches you that thing where you know that even when things go wrong, you still have to make them work. And that was one thing we've always done.
So you and Marie built this company from scratch. I think last financial year revenues were about $76 million. For most people, that would meet the definition of success. Now, why don't you just go and park yourself up on a beach somewhere? What motivates you going forward?
Look, it's very much a job that's half done. I mean, we see there's a lot of potential to grow the business further. Essentially, if you look at it, our sales to date have primarily come from Australia and from New Zealand, but really now the process we're at, we're actually selling in different countries around the world. So there really is a potential to really drive our business to a much bigger level, and that's kind of where we're at. So if we didn't get that done, I think we'd feel as though it's very much a job half done. So certainly at this stage, I don't feel any kind of, desire to kind of hang my boots up on a job that's half done. Our markets are really pretty small. Our chief medical officer who worked in the US for a long time, he said to me, look, by morning tea of the first day of the year, America had passed New Zealand sales. And then he pointed out, for the Australians in the background were laughing, that Australian sales were passed by afternoon tea of the second day. So it just gives you an idea of the sheer scale and differences in some of these markets.
So tell us about when you opened the office in Sydney. When was that?
Yeah, so look, we started in Australia back in 2005. I mean, what's happening is the markets really are getting much closer together. They're not really separate. A lot of products that you might say want to sell here, they also sell in Australia. So if you want to develop a product for New Zealand, it doesn't really necessarily make sense because the market's too small. But if you develop it for Australia, where there's a much more significant market, and then you can also have it here as well. So yeah, look, Australia's a pretty essential part. Most of our sales are in Australia anyway.